filthy money to go to saints like the ones we see in Gaza and Muslim land. Filthy money shall not go to help honorable people. Honorable Muslims worldwide who are in need of help should be helped by cleansed money, not by filthy money. That is the will of Allah Azza wa Jal. And the ayah, of course, proves that. The ayah says, وَلَا تَيَمَّمُوا الْخَبِيثَ مِنْهُ تُنْفِقُونَ. Allah Azza wa Jal forbids us from taking filthy money. Khabith means money earned in bad means or stolen, illegal money. Allah says that shall not be used for infaq, for spending fi sabilillah, will not be accepted. وَلَا تَيَمَّمُوا الْخَبِيثَ مِنْهُ تُنْفِقُونَ. So Allah Azza wa Jal made sure that Ahl Gaza will not receive khabith money, filthy money. I ask and pray to Allah Azza wa Jal to guide us to what is the right thing. Allahumma ameen. With Allah. Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. So dear brothers and sisters, what is our duty towards our brothers? Again, not just in Gaza, this would work everywhere. The first thing we need to do, and I'll talk about this a little bit later after the khutbah, is to direct support with cleansed money. Money of people who come to Jum'ah like you. Money of people who make wudu, whose hands are clean, whose earnings are clean. Not money that is filthy, that the Quran describes as khabith. So that's one way that we can help. And Allah inshallah will put the barakah in that money. I'll explain later how far $150 will go in helping these people. Second, we need to elevate issues such as Palestine and Kashmir, all of these matters of Syria, Yemen, and so on. We need to elevate them to the point where they become important values. Ya Ikhwa, in our life, values tend to prioritize themselves if we don't prioritize them. What does that mean? This has been the subject of my research in the last 7 years. There's a tendency for unimportant things to creep and take over the place of important things unless we intentionally block that. Hobbies become more important than duties if we are not careful. We have to intentionally make the time to read the news, to understand the news, to share the news, to talk about these issues as if they are important. There's something in our brain called the reticular activator. Basically what it is, think about it this way. When a woman becomes pregnant, all of a sudden she knows every other woman who is pregnant. She starts thinking about that. When you buy a car, look at the last time you bought a car, how all of a sudden every other car in the street is like your car. So if you were to pay attention to the plight of Muslims, and again, I'm not talking only about overseas. There are poor Muslims living among us right here in America. Muslims and non-Muslims. Islam does not distinguish. Poor is poor. Hungry is hungry. In these days of holidays, we need to pay attention to these issues. And when we pay attention to them, we start talking about them. When we talk about them, maybe our hearts will soften a little bit. Maybe we'll do something about it. Maybe if you yourself cannot do something about it, you'll talk to somebody who can do something about it. It becomes part of the discourse, part of the conversation. This is very important. Sad, ya ikhwa, that when we get together nowadays, if you just pay attention to conversations, many times they are frivolous. They are about topics that are really unimportant. And if you bring up a serious issue like Palestine or Syria or Yemen or something like that, Ya akhi, don't spoil the atmosphere. ما تنكدش علينا الله يخليك. What kind of nonsense is this? Allah Azza wa Jal says, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. Allah Azza wa Jal says that you shall be created and you shall live in kabad. Kabad means struggle. This is how our life is defined on this earth. I'm not saying you should seek kabad. I'm not saying you should constantly spoil the moment. For there are moments when it is haram to spoil the moment, like at the time of Eid. Rasulullah ﷺ tells us, bring happiness to the children on the day of Eid, that's fine. But we cannot make pleasurable, frivolous conversations the only discourse to have every day. We cannot do that. We have to intentionally bring up issues. And again, the reason is that once we bring them up, it means they're important. If they're important, maybe they'll take a priority in our life. If they take a priority, maybe they'll induce us to do something about what is going on. So these are some of the things that we need to do. And again, for those people who have come at the end of the khutbah, I want to remind you of the ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أم حسبتم أن تدخلوا الجنة. Do you think you shall be permitted into Jannah? ولما يأتكم مثل الذين خلوا من قبلكم. Without you going through the example of the people that came before you, that preceded you. مستهم البأساء والضراء. They were touched by بأساء and ضراء. One has to do with your person, the other one has to do with your belongings, your wealth, your belongings. وزلزلوا, they were shaken. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was shaken with his Sahaba on the day of Uhud and Al-Khandaq and so on. حتى يقول الرسول والذين آمنوا, to the point that the messenger himself among them will raise his hand and say, متى نصر الله? And the answer comes very quickly in the same ayah without separation. ألا إن نصر الله قريب. Verily, the victory from Allah is near. So inshallah, after the khutbah, give me a couple of minutes to share with you a couple of thoughts about what your brothers from United Muslim Relief are doing in Gaza. And maybe on your way out, inshallah, you'll find it in your heart to write a check to help our brothers. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين وأعلي بفضلك كلمة الحق والدين ووفقنا لما تحب وترضاه آمين. اللهم من أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين خيرا فوفقه إلى كل خير ومن أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين سوءا فخذه أخذ عزيز مقتدر. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم واستغفروه يغفر لكم وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
استقيموا اعتدلوا ثابني ثابتكم الله. Straighten the lines for the gaps. Pray as if it's your last prayer. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. الله أكبر. الله لمن حمده. الله الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Assalamu alaikum. So dear brothers, we have Brother Mahmoud Jabir here from United Muslim Relief. I know the founders of this organization and I know what work they do. I'm one of their supporters. In simple terms, if you and I, if any one of us went out to dinner with his wife and his kids, it's very hard to have dinner nowadays for less than $150. Yet, $150 can buy a basket that will last a family in Gaza for an entire month. A food basket, a single food basket, can be purchased by you today that will feed a family in Gaza for an entire month. It has rice, sugar, tea, it has vegetable oil, it has just about everything they need for an entire month. They are purchased in Jordan and they are transported in cooperation with the United Nations. So it's all legal means. You don't have to worry about any of that. It's all being done through the official channels. But the important thing, ya akhwa, is that we do our job. Jazakumullah khair. I'll turn the microphone to Brother Mahmoud.
Barakallah fi. Thank you for a touching khutbah. We heard the khutbah and I think most of us were touched. So as the brother said, Muhammad Abbasi, Jazakallah khair, we should find it hopefully in our hearts to reach into our pockets and give to our brothers in Gaza as we had given to our brothers in Kashmir and all over the world. I will hand the microphone to Muhammad.
See, Allah Azza wa Jal says, لِمَ تَقُولُونَ مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ كَبُرَ مَقْتًا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَن تَقُولُوا مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. Surah As-Saff says, why do you say what you don't do? So that I'm not one of those. I will start by donating 10 baskets, inshallah. And I hope, inshallah, that you will take cue from that, and you yourself, each one of you will do at least one basket. If you can do 5, 10, 15, those people over there will make dua for you, and that dua may avert a catastrophe that may happen in your life. May Allah Azza wa Jal protect you, protect your families and your children. May Allah Azza wa Jal accept from you. It's $150. The basket as was given to me by the brother who sent me the message, Ayman Abu Rahman. I'll read to you just briefly what's in the basket so that you'll see how significant this is. Bismillah. Give me just 1 second. He says the basket it has the following items: rice, sugar, vegetable oil, spaghetti, tomato sauce, potatoes, beans, split peas, tea, tuna, halva. I mean, this is a long list. These are a lot of things given in a single basket that only cost $150. I hope and pray that you find it in your heart to donate at least one basket if you could on your way back out. Jazakallah khair. 2, may Allah accept. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. 5 by Brother Mahmoud. Anybody else wants to announce? MashaAllah. 5. Rabbana yataqabbal inshallah. May Allah accept inshallah. Yeah, Brother Mahmoud Jabir is in the outside inshallah. He will take it. Anyone, whether you announce it or you don't announce it, Allah Azza wa Jal knows what you're given. May Allah Azza wa Jal accept from all of us. Oh, by the way, there is also another opportunity for those of you who may want to take advantage. For $25,000, you can buy a medical kit from Holland. They are shipping medical kits. Each kit costs $25,000. It's enough to treat 10,000 people. You can treat 10,000 people for the cost of $2.50 per person. You can't buy Band-Aid for $2.50 nowadays here. And yet, for $2.50, you can treat somebody who's injured. $10,000, it's a kit that's approved. $25,000 by the World Health Organization. So if anybody's interested, we have more data here. جزاكم الله خير. قوموا إلى سنة الله. السلام عليكم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers, whoever is still in the masjid from the English khutbah, please, we want to tell you about our great event, inshallah, this Sunday for the youth, boys and girls. Inshallah, our guest in this event will be Dr. Marwa Assar. She's psychologist, educator, founder of the Home Institute, and the topic it will be about the stress management, taking and is from the uncertain future for the youth about the depression and what they're facing from the psychological problems. So please invite everyone you know for this, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullahu khair.